Good afternoon, I'm John Keegan, the Chief Executive of Monmouthshire Housing. Many of you know me, but for those of you who don't, you know who I am now. I've been doing regular updates to tenants by video throughout the pandemic to make sure that you know what's going on and to make sure that you know what you can expect from Monmouthshire Housing. We see lately in the news that both Caerphilly and Running-Cunnintaff have gone back into lockdown. Still means people can go to work. And many activities continue, but it does mean that the gatherings are much smaller and people should associate with each other much less than they did before the pandemic. We really think that before there's any shutdown in Monmouthshire, we adhere to these same rules anyway. Minimise your contact with other people, make sure that you wash your hands, use hand wash significantly for about 20 seconds, stay 2 metres apart and follow the guidelines. And if you do that, without any vaccine, we'll make major inroads into defeating this virus which is plaguing our society right now. One of the changes that we're making now is in sheltered schemes. We're saying now that all visitors to sheltered schemes should wear masks, particularly in the communal areas. So from the minute they arrive at the front door until they get to your flat, if they're visiting you, they should wear a mask. And ideally within your flat, if they're within 2 metres of you, they should continue to wear a mask. We know how important your visitors are to you, but let's make sure that visitors can continue to call, because if there are an outbreak in any of our sheltered schemes, the scheme may well have to shut down to visitors. So let's look after each other. Let's take our own responsibility for our own health and well-being, but also the health and well-being of those who are nearest and dearest to us. The communal lounges will continue to remain closed in shelter schemes to stop close interaction between residents, and I think you understand why we're doing that. But on the other hand, major works will continue within sheltered schemes if they are required, and we will do that with lots of adherence to health and safety, making sure that we've got proper risk assessments to make sure we can carry out the work safely within your properties or within the sheltered schemes themselves. And this also applies to blocks of flats and apartments throughout the county as well, that we will always keep your health and safety and well-being in mind whenever we do anything. On the other hand, work still needs to be done, and we're doing that in the safest possible way that we can. We are experiencing some additional rent arrears, as you can imagine, but I've got to say that we're taken aback by how much effort people are taking to pay their rent. The vast majority of people, their rent accounts are completely up to date. Lots of others are struggling, and when you're struggling, that's something you shouldn't do on your own. We are here to help you if you're struggling, and we're helping far more tenants now than we were even a few months ago, as people have come to realise that Monmouthshire Housing are here to help you, to be your friend, not to be an adversary. So if you have any problems at all, please contact us. You'll find our income teams will be more than happy to help you. They'll give you welfare advice, they'll give you money advice, we can even get people to give you some employment advice, but for God's sake, contact us. A problem shared is a problem halved. Do not suffer alone when you've got problems. We want to make sure at the end of this pandemic that people don't have huge amounts of outstanding debts to clear, which may well take them years. So please work with us, and we will be delighted to work with you. We continue to let properties. We're getting a huge number of bids for every property that we put on Home Search, and that just shows that people understand that life goes on and their lives must go on and their ambitions must go on. So if you are looking to move and you haven't applied, well, do apply and see whether you qualify or not for some of the criteria that we attach to each property which we let. We haven't relaxed on our standards. The void standards of the relet properties is the highest in the UK, and that will continue to be the case. Some of the things that normally affect you are repairs to your properties, and certainly early in the pandemic, somewhat of a backlog of repairs built up, because effectively at the beginning we could only do emergency ones, but that was quickly changed, and now we're back full blast. In actual fact, the backlog of repairs has been practically cleared. The only backlog really are for maintenance inspections, and that's because a significant number of those have built up during the period, but of course we haven't any extra staff to carry them out, so please bear with us. Many of you are contacting us to find out when the maintenance repair will be carried out, maintenance inspection should I say, and we'll be getting to you as quickly as we can and then raising the appropriate repairs on the back of that inspection. So the key thing to remember: wash your hands, stay 2 meters apart, follow the guidance, and isolate if you're experiencing any symptoms, report those symptoms. And if you've been asked to isolate because you've been in contact with somebody who has had the disease, please follow the guidance. We must work with each other to get through this horrible, horrible part of our lives. We're coming into the winter now. People will be indoors more. As a result, then the potential for infection will be higher. We're going to do our part. We really need you to do your part. The last thing I would like to say is I want to thank you all for all of the many compliments the staff have received during this period. It really has helped them redouble their efforts to make sure that you get the services that you deserve and that we keep you as safe as possible. There have been so many heartwarming stories and messages from you that it's helped all of us, because it's been hard for our staff as well. They've got their own worries, their own concerns, and they want to make sure that we continue to deliver great services to you. Just one thing I need to remind people, that although I'm sitting here at our headquarters in Mamailid, the building is only open for a skeleton staff and is absolutely not open to the public because we cannot guarantee your safety. So if you must contact MHA, please do it via phone, email or text. Do not come to headquarters. You will not be able to see the appropriate person because so few people are working here at the moment. So as I said, contact from home. The building is off limits to the public because we're trying to adhere to the guidance from Welsh Government, and that means minimising contact as much as possible. Last but not least, I cannot emphasise enough, if you have any problems, any concerns, contact us. You'll find a willing ears and people who are willing to help you. And if Monmouthshire Housing can't help you, we will know somebody who can and will point you in that direction. Best of luck, stay safe, stay well, and I really look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you very much.